Today's topic is to determine the inverse of one-to-one function and graphing an inverse function. First, what is one-to-one function? If for any x of 1, x of 2 in the domain of f of x of 1 is not equal to f of x of 2, that is, the same y value is never paired with two different x values. Let's see this mapping diagram. So we have the values of x and the values of y. Negative 4 is mapped to negative 3, negative 2 is mapped to negative 1, 0 is mapped to 1, 2 is mapped to 3, and 4 is mapped to 5. In this case, we call this 1-to-1 function. Because for every element of x, there is an exactly one element of y. Let's look at the other mapping diagram. We see that negative 4 is mapped to 16, and also the positive 4 is mapped to positive 16. Negative 2 is mapped to positive 4, and positive 2 is mapped to 4, and 0 is mapped to 0. As you can see, we call this many to 1, as many values of x is mapped to only one value of y. So, in this case, we only need this format, one-to-one function. What about inverse function? Let f be one-to-one function, considering isa na siyang one-to-one function, with domain A and range B. So, domain, all values of x, and range, all values of y. Then the inverse of f, denoted by f raised to negative 1. Take note, when you say inverse, it has an exponent to negative 1. Is a function with domain B. So, nagpalit na yung B and yung range na A. Defined by f raised to negative 1 of y is equal to x if and only if f of x is equal to y for any y in B. Note, a function has an inverse if and only if it is one-to-one function. How to find the inverse of a function? Example, we have the function of x is equal to 2x minus 2. First step is to write the function in the form of y is equal to f of x. Take note that y is also equal to f of x. So therefore, this function, papalitan lang natin ng y yung f of x and then proceed na tayo sa writing of functions. So we have y is equal to 2x minus 2. Second step, interchange the x and y variables. This is the y variable and this is the x variable. Pagpapalitin lang natin sila. Lahat ng y, papalitan natin ng x at lahat ng x, papalitan natin ng y. And then step number 3 is to solve y in terms of x. Gagawin natin dyan from this function, yung y, ilalagay natin siya sa left side of the equation. So magiging negative 2y siya. At the same time, yung x, ilalagay natin sa right side of the equation. Magiging negative x siya by transposition. Nagbago yung kanyang sign. And then afterwards, kailangan lang natin si y. So tatanggalin natin yung kasama ni y. Di-divide natin both side of the equation ng negative 2. Cancel out, natira na si y. So we have, this is negative, and this is negative. Be very careful sa mga sign. So ayusin lang muna natin to. Ilabas natin yung negative 1 sa ating numerator. So magiging positive na yung x. At the same time, yung second term magiging positive na rin. Ilalabas din natin yung negative dun sa denominator. So magiging positive na si 2. Okay, we need to cancel out yung negative. So our y now is equal to x plus 2 over 2. And take note, this y has an exponent of negative 1 kasi siya yung inverse. Or, pwede natin siyang isulat as f raised to negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 2 over 2. So now, from this original function of f of x is equal to 2x minus 2, ang kanya na ngayong inverse of a function is f raised to negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 2 over 2. Now, paano naman natin i-graph ang function? As you can see, ito yung similar example natin. This is the original function, f of x is equal to 2x minus 2. And this is the inverse function, f of negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 2 over 2. Meron tayong dalawang table dito para sa original function at meron din tayo para sa inverse function. Question, paano nagkaroon ng values yung x at paano nagkaroon yung values ng y dito? Okay, yung mga values of x dito, inassign natin siya. So, depende sa inyo kung anong gusto nyong number ang i-assign nyo as values of x. In this case, pinili natin ang negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, nagkaroon lang tayo ng balance sa 0 tsaka sa positive integers at sa negative integers. Bahala ka kung gusto mo 1 million or 1,000. Pahihirapan mo pa ba yung sarili mo? So, pipili ka na lang ng mas maliit. Etong mga values na to ay isa-substitute mo dun sa x para ma-generate mo yung value ni y. Pwede din naman na gawin din mo yung inverse function. Sabi nga, kapag inverse function, nagbabaliktad yung y tsaka x. Kaya imbis na x ang may value dito, ang inassign natin ay para sa y. Okay. Looking at this example, what do you think is the easier to navigate? I think mas madaling original function kaya gagamitin natin siya. So ang gagawin lang natin ay may magsa-substitute lang tayo. Okay, to get the f of x is equal to 2, sa-substitute natin yung mga values na to sa x variable na yon. Sige, negative 4 minus 2 is equal to 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Bring down mo lang yung negative 2. The answer would be, pareho silang negative, magiging negative 10. So, susulat mo doon ay negative 10. Next one. If f of x, sige, ilagay natin dito negative 4. If f of x is equal to negative 3, papalitan lang natin to ng negative 3 minus 2. So, what is 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 minus 2. So, pareho pa rin silang negative, magiging negative 8. So, kapag negative 3 ang x, magiging negative 8 ang y. Next one, paano naman kung ang x ay negative 2? Okay, so 2, negative 2, minus 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Bring down negative 2, pareho pa rin silang negative, kaya magiging negative 6. So, kapag negative 2 ang x, magiging negative 6 ang y. As you can see, substitute lang natin to lahat. F of negative 1 is equal to 2, negative 1 minus 2. Magiging negative 2 minus 2 is equal to negative 4. How about kapag yung f is equal to 0? So, 2 times 0 minus 2, makakancel out na yung part na may 0. So, ang may iwan na lang ay positive 2. Or, should I say, negative 2? Kasi, take note, negative pa rin yung naiwan na number. Okay. Next is f of positive 1. So, substitute natin yung positive 1 sa value ng x. 2 times 1 is 2 minus 2. In this case, magiging 0. So, kapag positive ang 1, magiging 0 ang ating y. Next, f of positive 2. So, 2 times 2 minus 2. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 2 ay magiging 2. So, kapag ang x ay 2, 2 rin ang ating y. Next is f of 3. 2 times 3 minus 2. 2 times 3 is 6, minus 2 is positive 4. Lastly, f of 4. 2 times 4 minus 2 is equal to 8 minus 2, it's equal to 6. So, kapag 4 ang ating x, ang ating y ay magiging positive 6. So, meron tayong twist dito. Ito yung original function, ito yung inverse function. Since babalik ta rin lang. Okay, kung negative 4 ang ating y, yung x natin ay negative 10. Ganyan lang kadali ang pagsusulat. Baliktad din yung positioning ng values ng x at ng values of y. So, lahat ng y, kung lahat ng x dito ay naging values of y sa inverse of a function, therefore, lahat ng values of y dito magiging values of x sa kanyang inverse function. Kokopyahin lang natin, negative 8, negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 0, 2, 4, 6. Third is, meron na tayong table of values for the original function and sa inverse function. Hindi pa dyan natatapos, kailangan natin silang i-graph. In graphing the function for original function and the inverse function, may naka-ready na ditong Cartesian coordinate plane, yung vertical y-axis, yung horizontal x-axis, kasama dito. So, ito yung original function and this one is its inverse function. So, i-graph muna natin yung original function. Okay, ito yung mga values natin. Let's go first to negative 4. Kapag negative 4 yung x, ito siya, magiging negative 10 daw yung ating y-axis. So, ito yung negative 4. Okay. So, titignan mo lang yung tapat nila. Ayan. So, nandito ang ating negative 4 and negative 10. Ganyan siya mag-plot. Next one. Kapag negative 3 yung x, magiging negative 8 daw yung y. So, ito yung negative 3 up unto negative 8. So, ito yung negative 8. Yan. So, ito yung isang pangalawang dot natin. Next, kapag negative 2 yung x, magiging negative 6 yung y. Okay. And then, kapag negative 1 yung x, magiging negative 4 yung ating y. Dito siya. Negative 1, ito. Next, kapag 0 yung x, magiging negative 2 yung ating y. So, 0 and 2, nakaplot siya mismo sa y-axis. Kapag 1 yung ating x, magiging 0. So, 1, magiging 0 yung y. So, nakaplot siya sa ating x-axis. Kapag positive 2 yung x, positive 2 din yung ating y. So, ito siya. Alright. Next, kapag positive 3, magiging positive 4 din ang ating y. Sorry. Ito pala siya. Kapag 3 yung x, magiging positive 4 yung ating y. So, careful tayo sa pagpla-plot, okay? Kapag positive 4 naman ang x, dito, magiging positive 6 ang ating y. Yan. And then, pwede tayong gumamit ng ruler para i-connect yung mga dots. Ayan, gagamit tayo ng ruler. Make sure na lahat ng dots na yan ay madadaanan. Yan. So, this is the graph of the function f of x is equal to 2x minus 2. Ngayon, i-plot naman natin yung kanyang inverse function para makita lang natin yung itsura niya. Ito naman yung inverse. Okay. So, kapag yung 10 or yung x ay negative 10, ito yung negative 10, ang ating y ay negative 4. Negative 10. Yan. So, nandito siya. Kapag yung x natin ay negative 8, ang ating y ay negative 3. Okay. Suppose this is. Kapag negative 6 naman ang ating x, magiging negative 2 ang ating y. Kapag negative 4 ang ating x, magiging negative 1 ang ating y. So, dito siya. Yan, may apat na. Kapag negative 2 ang x, magiging 0 ang ating y. So, nakaplot siya sa ating x-axis. Kapag 0 ang x, nakaplot siya sa positive 1. So, doon tayo sa y-axis, sa 1. Kapag 2 ang ating x, nakaplot din siya sa 2. Kapag positive 4 ang ating x, nakaplot siya sa positive 3. Ito siya. Kapag positive 6 ang ating x, nakaplot siya sa ating positive 4 for the y. Okay? And then, connect. So, ito ang plot ng, actually, meron tong negative 1. F of negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 2 over 2. So, ayan yung difference sa kanilang plot. This is the original function, this is the inverse function. Again, ang pinaka-importante sa lesson na to is to find the inverse of a function. We have the 3 steps. First one is the write the function in the form of y is equal to f of x. Second one, interchange the x and y variables. And third one, solve for y in terms of x. And then, graph the resulting functions.